The NFL and the NBA postponed and relocated some games due to the Palisade Wildfires. The thin line between whether or not to play a game after a natural disaster. My thoughts on that coming up in this episode. And male stereotype commercials, Super Bowl ads. What can advertisers learn from McCormick's Taco Night? Thanks everyone for checking out my show. My name is Devin, and this is the RVA Running Man podcast. I cover all topics related to sports, recreational running, and fitness. If you like to follow me, definitely check me out. Check me out on any social media platform or wherever you get your podcasts. Look for RVA Running Man podcast and subscribe and follow me. I definitely will love you along the journey. All right, guys. As I led off, we're going to talk about the Palisade Wildfires. The NBA and the NFL postponed and relocated some games due to those wildfires, and just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it. But first, before I do that, wanted to send my condolences, well wishes to all of those first responders, to the people that have been impacted by this natural disaster. I cannot put myself in you guys' shoes and understand, everything that you guys are going through. But again, my prayers to you. I'm hoping that we can get the conditions needed to help those people that are on the front line, our first responders, the people that are being displaced by this natural disaster. Hopefully that you guys are getting the support that you need. And I encourage everyone that's listening to me and that can hear my voice, if you can support it, support these folks in any way, definitely support everyone that's been displaced by it, and the first responders that are there on the scene trying to make sure things, they can get things under control. So again, sending out my prayers to all of you. So with that said, in the world of sports, the NFL, as I led off with, NFL and NBA had canceled some games, in particular with the NBA, the Spurs, Lakers, and Hornets, Clippers games were postponed. It was reported that JJ Redick, the coach for the Lakers, wanted to opt to play the game to give people hope.
It's complete devastation and destruction. I had to go kind of a different way to the house, but I went through most of the village and it's all gone. We obviously want to give people hope, and we want to give people, I don't want to say a distraction, but maybe an escape.
And as I led off with in this episode, some people think there's a fine line between whether or not you should play after a natural disaster such as the one, or during a natural disaster such as the one that they're going through. I understand both sides of the fence. Mainly, I don't blame the NBA for doing what they did, because you want to put public safety first with everything that everyone is going through in that area. So you definitely wouldn't want to put anyone in a bad spot. My thoughts to whether or not games should be played is this: if it's safe enough, if you guys are safe enough to do it, and those arenas are in those areas, I will hope first, if there are places that's big enough, like those arenas, that can be used as a shelter, as a base of operation where the first responders can meet, that'll be first priority. If games are played, I think, which I think a lot of the time they do this, if a game is played and is televised, a call to action need to be done on every commercial, mentioned by all the commentators, just to make sure that the people that are there, that are impacted, are getting the things that they need, or getting the support that they need. So I can remember after 9/11, I believe maybe it was a baseball game, where people were, I won't say confused. They were at a stage where they wasn't sure whether or not a game should be played, and we ended up playing a game, football and everything anyway. And I believe it ended up turning out great, because it got most of the country mind off of what was going on, which was a scary time. I can remember that time. It was really, really scary. I can remember waking up and seeing the destruction, and not realizing, not understanding how momentous of a moment that I was witnessing. So that was a really, really deep time, and playing and getting back into sports, getting back to who we were as Americans, going on with life, which I think a lot can be said about resiliency. Not to say that it doesn't come a time where you need to step back and take care of things, like a lot of the people there are trying to make sure they get the fire under control. But in a situation like this, and echoing what JJ Redick is saying about being able to give people hope. Sometimes probably watching a game or going to a game can get your mind off of the devastation that you may have going on at home, and some people need that. So, it straddle the fence, but I can see really both points of view. I can see, depending upon the situation, where a team can cancel a game just to make sure that people are safe. And I can see, why a team will play a game. It's not necessarily driven off of trying to get profits and money and anything like that, but in the best interest of people, making sure that they're able to get their mind off of what is going on and can escape. And if that's a semblance of escape, watching a football or basketball game, I'm all for it. So again, want to make sure those people out there are taken care of that are there, and let's again hope that this fire can get under control and things can get back to some semblance of normal. So the Super Bowl is only a few weeks away from us, and I think most people look forward to, outside of the game, most people look forward to the commercials. Now, me being a husband, me being a guy, I pay extra close attention to my demographic when it comes to commercials. Recently, I saw a commercial that just blew me away. I'm gonna play it for you guys, and then I'm gonna give you my commentation after I show you this 15-second spot that I think most advertisers can learn from when it comes to trying to display a certain demographic in your commercials.
I know how this looks, but this taco night, it's gonna be great. With McCormick by your side for over 130 years, it's gonna be great.
15-second ad. It was a 15-second ad, and I can't remember. I think I was looking at a game and I saw this ad pop up. So let me tell you what stood out to me in this ad. Number one, it was a father. You didn't see a mother there. Now ladies out there, I don't have, and I know you guys have your certain gripes with the way advertisers portray you. In most commercials like this, in most commercials where there's a father, there's a couple of things that usually advertisers try to do to portray us. Either we're silly, either we're clumsy, or we do things like, if we have the baby, we're taking care of a baby, we let dogs lick the baby's face clean, we're doofuses, we're idiots. This commercial was nice and simple. It was a father that cooked a meal for his kids. I'm assuming it was the father, uncle, whoever, but it was a male alone with kids. Cooked a nice meal, sat down, was playing and laughing with the kids, having a good time, was not silly, was not over the top. And it worked. 15-second ad worked. To these ad agencies that are out there, please look at the other side of the spectrum. And again, to my ladies out there, because I know that you guys are Stereotype too. They can do a lot better with you guys too, because you're not all like housewives cleaning up things for people. We need to have more PSA. We need to have more diversity in our ads. We need to portray guys sometimes, or a lot of the times, as competent. We are competent. So don't. When it comes to ads like this one, it to me is far and few between. So as we come to this Super Bowl season of ads, because usually a whole bunch of ads come out around this time where they're kind of testing out the market, so to speak. I want you to count how many ads you see where you have a competent male that can take care of kids or can take care of himself without doing something silly, goofy, or ignorant. Hopefully people can take a page out of McCormick's book. McCormick, you had a fan in me. I would gladly sponsor you and gladly speak your name just for this 15-second ad. But hopefully, as we go forward, we can see a lot more diversity as it comes to portraying males as something other than ignorant idiots that don't really know how to tie their shoe. That's just the way I see it. That's my PSA. Advertisers, make sure that you diversify your commercials. Full stop. Diversify your commercials. All right, guys, thanks again for checking out my show. As I said in the middle of the show, you can, if you like my content, definitely go out there and subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my podcast, search for RVA Running Man Podcast. You should be able to find me. But again, until next week, I hope you all are safe out there on the roads, trails, and in life. I'll talk to you later. Peace.